Welcome to the 1958 Lawyer, the show for attorneys who know the old model isn't working anymore. The billable hour, the 12-hour day, the expensive office no one visits. Your hosts, Ron and Rebecca Boxstaller, are here to question all of that and more by exploring smarter, healthier, more flexible ways to run a law firm. No more burnout, no more outdated expectations, just real conversations with attorneys who are proving there's a better way. If you're ready to build a law firm that's profitable and livable, you're in the right place. Now here are your hosts, Ron and Rebecca.
Welcome to the 1958 Lawyer, the podcast about the business of law. I'm your host, Ron Boxstaller, joined by my co-host, RB. Your next client is going to search your name before they ever pick up the phone. And a growing number of them are asking AI chatbot about your legal problem before they ask a lawyer. That's right, they're calling someone else or looking at AI before they call you. But in most firms, marketing is one person's side project, usually the owner's, which means it dies the first generally busy week as soon as they get a case in. Today, we're talking about how to turn what your whole team already knows into content that actually goes out the door without anyone sitting down to write a draft. With us today are Jared Gibson and Kelly Foran, co-founders of Outworks and co-owners. They built what they call a content operating system for B2B teams. More than 100 executives publish through it. It's a production team spread across 8 countries. Jared's back for the second round. Welcome. Good to have you back. Can't believe we re-invited you. Kelly's here for the first time and owns the editorial standard behind everything they ship. And full disclosure, longtime listeners have heard me say this before, Outworks runs my LinkedIn. So I'm not a neutral party here. I'm a customer. And I'll be asking the questions I'd ask if I were paying the invoices, which I am. Jared, Kelly, welcome to the show.
Thank you
for having us.
For having us, for sure. Nice
gonna
to
be a
back
fun
in
one.
person. I like the in person.
It's first time doing it in person. That's going to be it's going to be a good show.
Yeah.
Now you guys have changed your model quite a bit. Maybe that's in my mind. Talk about what you're doing today and what content is today.
Oh yeah, Digger, you want it?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long road for us. I think from a content perspective, we saw the writing on the wall, 2022-ish, around that time period where we started to see CEOs and executives really putting out their thought leadership, right, from a personal brand perspective outside of their company brand. And that's where a lot of things aligned with us and our team, which is, a team of creatives, of video editors, copywriters, graphic designers. And we kind of saw that opportunity of where we could really help other CEOs, other executive teams, really put themselves out there in a genuine, authentic way and have their content land with, not only their ICP, but also partners and other people just in their audience.
Yeah. As a build on that, you also started to see the buyer journey shift.
Sure.
Whereas people, I think post-pandemic, people really were going not just to companies' websites to do research and look at the different competitors, like they were going to social channels, whether that's LinkedIn, YouTube, and they wanted to see these cooks in the kitchen, if you will. And are they putting out content? Do I vibe with this person? Are they putting out content that I can be like, okay, I trust this person. I may not be ready to buy today, but I'm going to keep consuming this content.
Right.
And eventually my hand's going to go in the air. And when that happens, they're going to be at the top of the list because I've been following their content for so long.
You guys made a bit of a change from the CEO or the one person now to the executive team.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to Bill about how that's changed and how it's working.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's 2026.
Not you. Damn it. Kelly.
I knew we were going there.
I think it was natural, though, right?
It was natural. I don't know what I'm talking
we
about.
had clients. I mean, a ton of clients who were just, kind of like, hey, could we also do this with our CTO? Could you guys do this with our CFO, right? Like they've got really interesting things to share and different perspectives than myself and their game. Yeah. So it kind of naturally was like, okay, cool. And I think we saw that on the platform too, where it didn't have to just be the CEO. Sometimes the CEO is not the person, right? They're not the one who is as comfortable getting on camera, putting out content. So it's someone else on that executive team, but we've seen the most success when, they bring in that full leadership team and we're able to kind of hit different types of topics, different types of angles that helps the company from a kind of like grandstand standpoint. You really put out stuff that all of their, target market can resonate with.
So are we going, so like on a LinkedIn, are we looking more at the individual LinkedIn page versus the company still, or is it more leaning into the company a little more?
I would say that it's definitely more of the individual. LinkedIn's come out and said that they pretty much prioritize individual profiles over company, but it doesn't mean that you can't take what the individual's saying and rechannel it or repurpose it for the company page. I was going to say, but you were right to cut me off. Just that in 2026, like you should, in the B2B space, be creating a culture of content creators. Like that's the next generation coming up are on social media, though they're the decision makers. And the way that we kind of view it is like everybody is their own personality, everybody is their own subject matter expert. So we treat them as individual seats, right? Because they're all talking, if you think about the way that buyers buy today, like there's multiple people throughout the buyer journey that you need to get on board with saying yes. So you may have a CTO that's speaking to the technical buyer. You may have the CEO that's speaking to the economic buyer, right? So all that content is channeled for individual buyers, but we're all rowing in the same direction. Like here's the North Star up here. Everybody's individual, but we're all headed back in this direction. So that's kind of the way that we view it, is we're working with teams, right? Versus just one individual.
Interesting.
Okay. So Kelly, you're the person who takes a post and makes it sound like the person who said it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you talk to somebody for an hour, you have a transcript that you work with. What is it that you're listening for? And what is it that you cut? Like what makes the cutting room floor right away?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I do have to give a lot of credit to my creative team behind myself, right? Because there is a team of 8 people who, have just kind of an eye for. So our video team, when they're going through the transcript or the recording, what they're looking for are those moments where, it's a quick, concise, really kind of, visual kind of explanation or segment that they are kind of resonating with in terms of like, okay, there's value that's being said here, plus like we could make a great video out of this, right? So there's that stage of looking through the video content, but our copywriter too is, as they're kind of going through the actual transcript, they're also watching it and they're seeing the moments where a lot of it's body language. When you look at a CEO and you can see that they're fired up about something versus just kind of like, a softball question that they just are going through the motions. So there's a lot of different tells. And then to really make it sound like them, it is so important to kind of rewatch, over and over again, how that specific person is saying something. Do they, especially once we have multiple takes or multiple kind of months of interviews, we can see specific types of, phrases that they might come back to, catchphrases, like things that they say just in their everyday vernacular. And those are the things that's really important for our copywriting team to like save. They're like, okay, Ron likes to, compare this to that. Let's make sure we're bringing that, to the forefront of the content, because Ron knows better than anyone what works in a sales conversation, right? So those are the things.
Well, anyone except Jared.
No,
that's right.
I'm gonna have to get a Team Jared shirt.
I think the content brain, the back end AI brain that we're building too is what we built for each of our clients. That is key. Like we're not creating AI slop that you see a lot right now. Like what we're creating is a very particular back-end system based on that individual. The likes, the dislikes, the tone, the things they would never say, how they've written in the past, what they've talked about in the past already, so it's not duplicating some of the similar talk tracks. If I always say this to people, if you sit down at a bar and you're having a conversation with your buddy and your buddy says to you, I know that you didn't write that, then we're not doing our job. Like it's got to sound like the individual, and I think that's always a concern going into any relationship with somebody new that it hasn't gone through our process yet. Is that like, I feel like if I have a ghostwriter do this, like they're not going to be able to understand me, which I don't know, Ron, you can attest to the fact that like we got the voice. It's on. Everybody's different. Like everybody's got their own tone. Like some of our clients are super sarcastic. Like some of our clients like are self-deprecating. Some of our clients are very funny or dry. We have to be able to tell that story in the writing and make sure that it matches exactly to them.
Yeah.
So here's where I think our audience is going to push back, because they're, the average law firm we have, you got a partner, you got a paralegal, and maybe an associate. Maybe there's one other person in the firm who has value to be out there speaking in that kind of a scenario.
Well, I definitely think the partner, right? Because the knowledge base. I mean, if you think about it, it's all coming from where's the knowledge base?
Right.
Who's got? Is it the paralegal? If it's the paralegal, and the paralegal's got a massive knowledge base, and they have a great personality, and we could put them on video, and they could convey the message. Their network may not be as big, but the goal then there would be to grow the network with the expertise. But the partner is at the end of the day the expert, right? Like whoever that is, whatever their specific area of law is that they practice. Like there's so much information up here, and there's so much new information coming out down the pipe. I think newsletters are still very valuable, but if as a small business owner, like if I've got an employment attorney that's putting out constant information on short video clips that I can take in, that's going to affect my day to day and things that are going on in my life and my business world, like feed me that over a long newsletter, right? And I'd much rather have that stuff show up in my feed.
Okay.
Did that answer your question?
No.
Maybe Kelly should take this one.
I think I think if you're that 4-person law firm, you're kind of thinking, who are my clients? Who do they want to hear? And they want to hear the attorney, but there are other people maybe within the firm that could boost up that attorney without the attorney saying it for themselves.
A lot of clients do interviews. They'll bring those people in to interviews. Like they'll be like, hey, I want to bring my paralegal in. Let's cut up some content with me interviewing that paralegal, whatever that is. So that's always a great option because you've got people interacting, having that like one-on-one conversation. That's why podcasts are so
bring them in, let them do some talking, and then
Totally.
There was a new software. We were just talking to a law firm about, I think it's called Intaker, where the homepage, you might have one attorney when a partner pops up and does a little 30-second speech on that website. And then maybe on a back page, like a high net worth page in this case, a different partner pops up and talks as the expert on that of like a business. In that case, I own a company and I'm getting a divorce. Let me answer the question for you.
Yeah.
And that all video, 30-second videos.
Wow.
So
Pre-recorded or is it?
Pre-recorded, yeah.
Oh, yeah, cool.
So that's another way to look at it, I think.
Yeah.
Having different people come in and act as experts.
100%.
Well done.
So your site says no prep needed. Can you walk us through like what is a monthly session, like that 1 hour monthly talk look like? What are some, if you're willing to give them up, some key questions that you always know you want to ask because it gets people talking about things that are interesting?
Yeah, I would say a lot of it is defined in that early kind of kickoff call where we're getting to know the person. Because we do want to define kind of their core pillars. Like what are the core things about not only their business, but their kind of unique POV on the world. And, it could be business related, but it could also be, things that are more about like building, the business internally, the culture, the company itself. When we kind of get through that point of having a deeper understanding of that client, I would say it's really a matter of jumping into that first call and really seeing what starts to resonate, right? Throwing out questions that feel casual enough. Like we try to not make it feel like this intense podcast where like you have to give us the perfect answer to this. I'd much rather have the person be kind of free flowing, and catching those moments where I see they're like really digging into something. And that's where those follow-up questions are so important because that's usually where like the real juice of the, content like value is derived. And so every interview is different. There is a lot of kind of strategy that goes into it that our team of strategists plan. Like we'll craft a whole bunch of questions with, hey, here are some talking points that, you've mentioned in the past. We want to dig into it deeper. And we love it when clients do come in to prep, and have specific things that like, oh yeah, I really want to talk about this, this session. But, no prep is needed technically because you could just come in and it's like, let's have a conversation.
Right.
Let's talk about your week. Let's talk about the month. And sometimes that's where the gold is found, truly.
Well, that's interesting because that makes me think back to our first podcast with you one of the things that stuck with me was you saying that when you're doing content, just look for your authentic self. It's not being perfectly curated. It's not trying to do something with no mistakes. It's just showing up as you are.
Yeah.
So
Don't worry about polish.
Yeah.
It's the polish thing. People are so like, hey, this got to be perfect.
gotta
I'm a
be perfect.
perfectionist.
Yeah.
Like a lot of CEOs that we work with, like they are perfectionists, but they've kind of got to let go of that and just know that like, hey, this is not going to be perfect. Like, but people don't want perfect. Perfect comes off as not genuine. It doesn't come off as like, it comes off as salesy when you're super scripted and perfect. Like, right? So just be yourself for sure. I think that's the biggest thing that we see going into people, because we have so many clients that'll start and their personality's out. They're having a great conversation before we hit record, but as soon as we hit record, this weird guard goes up and it's like, who the hell is this? Like, where did the person I was just talking to like 2 minutes ago go, right? So for a lot of our clients, it's kind of understanding where they are in that journey. Some of them can hit play and they're like, good to go, let's roll.
Yeah.
Some of them like do need that crawl, walk, run, like coaching. And like by session 3 or 4, they're 10 times better than they were in session 1.
Let's take this back to the time commitment. Probably good question, Kelly. Like, this is the biggest issue. Like, we have clients that are spending 3-4 hours a week, which is just crazy putting together shorts. And we're talking, we want to do 1 hour a month and put together content for the month. How do we do that? How you kind of walk it through your process?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the whole point of the company was derived from the fact of like, let us take this off your plate. You know, like we have the systems built internally so we can quickly understand your business, who you are, and all we need is really for you to show up with, you know, kind of a good attitude and, you know, just a willingness to kind of share, you know, in that 1 monthly session. So it really is kind of a matter of, you know, we get kicked off, we get to know you a little bit, we start putting strategies in place that we then, you know, and it's always helpful, right, to have other people on the team, right? Like Brittany on your team has been fantastic where, you know, if something comes up, right, just internally that maybe you're not privy to, Ron, right? Like she can send that to me. That way during the interview, I can ask it and it almost feels like I'm on your team, right? You're like, oh, how did you know that? But like, oh, that's relatable. Let's talk about it.
Right.
So, you know, it really is a matter of, you know, jump on for those 60 minutes each month. And then our team really gets to work in terms of, you know, creating all the graphic design, creating all the video clips, creating the carousels, you know, the copywriter kind of crafting each post. And then, you know, within 7 days, we send a big batch of posts over to you and your team so you can check them out, give us any pointers. Usually, like, in the first couple months, that's what we really ask for. Like, hey, give us your critical feedback. Like, this is where we really need to hear from you. Like, be transparent so we can perfect this. So every time, you know, going forward, we send you a post, you're like, heck yeah, that sounds like me. This is great. Good to go.
As a customer, I would say, you know, I got to get ready for one day, about an hour, a month. And yeah, there's that. You send things over and someone in my team approves it. But I'm done. But all month, content's going out, which is the best when people are asking me to talk to me about the content that went out. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. I didn't know it just went out. Right. But it was me talking, right? Mm-hmm. And maybe it was a video of me or that's the power. And then when I get really busy or I take some time off, I'm still posting.
Yeah.
It's continuously always going out. I think that's the magic is that.
Stay top of mind. Always stay top of mind. Even if you are slammed with work and you don't have time to do it, like you still have to plant those seeds. Like, the world is still working around you, and if you're not planting those seeds, then when you come out of that kind of like work hole that you've been in, heads down, like you're like, shit, it feels like I got to start all over now.
Right. Instead, you'll have new activity already coming up, and you just roll right into it. I mean, we used to call that using other people's resources. Like maximize others' resources for your business, and you don't got to hire everyone full time. You know, I see these small firms go, oh, I'm going to go hire a marketing person. Why? And first of all, you don't have time to manage a marketing person. Right. So why would you ever think that way? So changing the way you think. Yeah.
So your website says that you're AI powered, but then Jared, you mentioned that you can't just write crap like crappy AI documents be out there. So sort of like, what's the line on where people, or where AI is good for this, but also you would never want AI to touch a different part of it?
Absolutely. I can take that.
Take that one.
I would say like my background is in design. So like the creative aspect of content is super important to me and the whole team. And so, in this age of AI and, the good, the bad, the AI slop, the most important thing for us was having a internal system that could create basically databases for each of our clients. That way we can pick up the context of, when Ron sends an email, that's going into Ron's database. When after we record, that recording is going into his database. When we go back and forth on Slack, those comments are going into his database. That way, when my creative team is working, like our copywriter, and they have a question, right, or they're unsure about something, right, like where did Ron go to school, right? They can ask our system, and it will tell them right away. Okay. So it really is more of like a contextual system that allows like the workflow to be more accurate and streamlined. So that was kind of our main, I would say that's really where it came from in terms of building this internal tool, less for like, hey, write 12 posts for Ron, and we're just going to take those posts and then put them into, send them back over. Like that was not what we were trying to achieve. It was more of like having the consistency of his tone of voice, but also like being able to QA stuff. Like it's fantastic for our creatives to be able to create something and put it through the system and say, hey, what do you think about this based off of your knowledge base of Ron? Are there any inconsistencies? Did I miss anything from the interview, right? And it will let them know, like, hey, Ron also mentioned this. It might be a good idea to throw that in there. But then it's our copywriter actually writing it, right? Or our designer, tweaking things in their design software.
That's key. I think the key is AI will get us, let's say 80, 70% of the way there. But we have human editors that two sets of eyeballs read every single post, edit it, make sure it sounds like him. I'm final eyes on everything before it goes out. Like everything goes through me. Like, and I've seen stuff like, hey, this slipped through the cracks where I'll call it out. Yeah. Like we talked about this earlier. Let's go back and kind of rewrite this, like all this stuff. So it's not just copy paste AI in. There's definitely has to be a set of human eyes that Q&A it before it hits our clients.
Before we kind of move to the next question, what percentage of your clients when they're doing the review, are you getting a lot of feedback, or are they just saying, yeah, this looks good? Are a lot of people doing a lot of editing on what you put out?
Not much. Like I would say it's usually like around that 3-month mark where that review process starts to really kind of like, we know that okay, within 24 hours most of those posts will get approved, right? The first two, like I was mentioning earlier, that's where sometimes we jump on a call to be like, hey, let's really like get a temperature check here. That way, like my team, like they can, if we need to iterate, let's make sure it's happening early. That way, going forward, when we send stuff over, you're like, okay, sweet. Like this resonates with me. This feels like me. I feel great, publishing this right now. Right.
We've definitely had clients before. Story time. We've definitely had clients before where, and they didn't it was probably we could tell early on, when it's like, it's gonna be a rough client.
Oh yeah.
Where they literally will, and we know what they're doing. They're copying and pasting what we put together like month one. They're throwing it into ChatGPT, not even like Claude that understands, just throwing it copy paste into ChatGPT and having ChatGPT write it in their voice, which ChatGPT wasn't trained to write it in their voice. And we'll get it back and we'll look at it, and Kelly and I will be like, this is literally, this is what AI slop is.
Yeah, exactly.
Right here.
Yeah.
So, it's a few months in, people they're like, all right, love this team, trust this team. We can pull back a little bit on being like so polished. Like we trust that they're putting the good stuff together now.
Yeah.
So it just takes a few months. It's with anything. Like your guard is up. Like this is my voice. This is me putting this out into social media world. Like I'm going to be kind of cautious at the beginning of this until these guys show me that, all right, we're good to go here.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
All right. Serious question. Jared,
Yeah.
Ohio State man.
Yeah.
RB, Indiana.
All right. I saw the show notes. I brought a prop.
Okay.
Put on my IU hat for this part.
I mean, the Ohio State has nothing.
I mean, I'll be full disclosure here.
Okay.
I am an IU grad and I am a fan, but I really, the Signetti era is when I really locked in. So I'm kind of new.
Well,
Right.
you and every single
I know,
Indiana
but
fan.
let's just talk for a second because from an Indiana perspective, we're 16-0, coming into the season, national champs.
Yeah.
On our way to that, we beat Ohio State
Yep.
13-10
I
for
was
the
at
Big
that
Ten
game.
championship in Indianapolis. We were there as well.
Yeah, with my son, who
Too bad we couldn't be sitting together.
here.
That would've been-
I have a funny story from that game, but go,
Okay.
keep going.
No, that's cool. So, I guess tell me your funny story, and then, by the way, that was the first time we beat your team since '88.
I know.
Wow.
88.
I didn't
That
know
I
that.
mean, I'm not even gonna lie.
It's
You all probably don't even know 88. That's the year I stepped onto campus for the
Wow.
first time.
Really?
That was so wild like that.
It's
Anyway, how you feeling about the season?
good. So here we go. You absolutely should take the 365 days in shit talk as much as you possibly
Because
can.
it's not gonna last much longer.
No, I'm not saying that. I think that you guys got a coach that absolutely flipped that program around. I mean, historically, the fact that this phrase is about ready to come out of my mouth, Indiana are national champions in football. What are we talking about? Like that, like a year or two ago, like this has been like, oh, that's fun. Like, and that hat probably was never purchased, and you probably were never wearing it, right? Which is fine.
Well, I mean, I have hats, but yeah, you're right. You're right.
I was absolutely, once Ohio State got knocked out, like, you want Indiana. Anybody in the country
Totally.
wanted Indiana to win
Yeah.
the national championship. The game, the Big Ten championship game, because I have a bunch of friends that went to Indiana, like, nothing against Indiana, like, insanely, like, historical year. We went to the national championship game. My son is 8 now. He was 7 at the time, or not at the Big Ten championship. And he loved it. Great, had a great time. Ohio State played like shit. Like, they did. But at the end of the game, like, when we realized we were going to lose, I look over at him and I have pictures of it. His head is down, sitting like in, I don't know what, crisscross applesauce in his seat, and he's just bawling. And so we go out, and he's crying all the way out to the car. We get in the car, we're in traffic getting out from the arena, and he started to calm down a little bit. But then the Indiana fans started coming out of the arena because they were in celebrating.
Yeah.
Right.
And all of a sudden, you just start to hear this, like, Hoosier, like that. And he just starts screaming. He's like, why do they keep saying that? Like, walking by the cars, and that's all that you hear. No, it was a magical run. We got to go to Indiana and play you at
October
Indiana.
17th, which
Yeah.
I think that game sold out before it even
Yeah.
was
Oh,
for
yeah,
sale. Like,
it's-
Yeah, and I'm sure that there'll be a strong contingent from Ohio State
sure.
there.
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's see how that game goes.
Okay, we'll talk after.
Okay.
But I
Podcast
think I
3.
told right.
Yeah.
Podcast 3 will be just that. I think I told you this when we talked too, though, that at the end of the Big Ten game, because the Ohio State fans were filing out a little bit earlier than the IU fans, but super great fans from Ohio State, which is not
Not what
I
you
think
hear
what
usually.
everybody usually hears. I didn't run into one of them that was nasty.
Good.
It was a.
Oh, we
good,
actually
fun
went to a
time.
bar
Yeah, we ended up
right
in
now
an
the
Ohio
stadium
State
was
bar.
full of Ohio State people.
Yeah.
We just sat and drank with them. We had a fun time with them, and
Yeah.
they were like, awesome. It's gonna be a great year.
Yeah.
I
Good.
mean,
It was fun.
they're 88 and 13-1 against
exactly.
IU. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like,
We
hey,
can take a
little
loss.
lopsided. We can
Yeah.
take a loss here and there.
Yeah, it was
Just not that one.
Yeah.
I wish
not
that
that
was
one.
always how it is, but no. Everybody has their contingent of fans that are just like, nah. Ohio State's definitely got its fair share.
Yeah.
It was fun. Okay, thanks. I'll take my
Yes.
hat off now.
All right.
That part's
Running
over.
out of time. We got to get ready to close it up. Before we close out, give us like a couple, 3 or 4 of the biggest mistakes that you see, like your CEOs, your clients or potential clients doing. And then maybe what you can do to how we can fix them.
How about I take 2, you take 2?
Okay.
I'll go first.
Yeah. Wait, our clients or
Anybody.
Or
Like,
potential
like,
clients.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
potential clients.
I would say depending on AI to do everything and not actually having a system in place, that's where you get a lot of like, yeah, we're good to go, and then you go and look at their content and it is AI slop, or it's like, yeah, I'm super active and it's just reposting company garbage that
right.
from the landing page for the company page that nobody cares about. So I would say that is kind of maybe 2, but the other one is inconsistency. Like, and giving up too early on it. It is, yeah, I did that for 2 months and we didn't get any clients from it. And it's like, it's not how it works. Like, this stuff compounds over time. Like, if you're not mentally prepared to do this for 12 months, then you shouldn't do it. Like,
Right.
you should find something else to do. But if you do it and you're consistent with it and you're putting out good content, I'm not just talking about LinkedIn. I'm talking about podcasts. I'm talking about YouTube, Instagram, like whatever you're on, Substack. Like if you're not doing it consistently for a long period of time, then it's probably won't work. So you have to just commit to it and be intentional with it.
Those are two big ones, but he took the biggest ones. Now you had to think a little longer.
I know, that's okay. I was actually say the first one's kind of an easy one, but like not doing anything, right? For a CEO or any of their, kind of executive team, not seeing social as like a great channel, right? For you and for your business, that's a missed opportunity for sure. I would say another one, kind of a build on yours, but like expecting that, the first initial content that you put out there is going to be what automatically lands with your, end user, right? The fact that, really kind of like banking on perfection and that like, this is the silver bullet. Whereas like it's the reps, right? By doing it, you will find your voice. You'll find your lane. You'll get feedback from people in your audience who will say, hey, I saw your post. Like, have you ever thought about talking about this? I know you guys do this. And it's like being light bulb, like next session, I'm going to talk about that, right? It's like, sometimes you have to put yourself out there to get that candid feedback from folks, but also just to get into the motion of like, oh, this is not nearly as daunting as I thought it was. Like, people don't care nearly as much as like your own brain is telling you. So by getting over that hump, you start to see a lot of new avenues of like, okay, interesting. Like if we change this, let's see if that will resonate more. And you can start to kind of experiment more. And that's, I think, a missed opportunity if you just expect like, okay, I'm going to post and this is going to be it. This is going to get all the clients. Everyone's going to recognize me, right? It's like, you got to put the work in.
Can I add a quick bonus?
Yeah.
Bonus 5.
Bonus 5, here we go.
You should not put all of your eggs into this basket. Like this is a tactic is part of an overall strategy.
Right.
So your strategy is up here. You want to grow your company. You want to get more clients. Here's the top. You should be going to conferences. You should be going to events. You should be networking. You should be creating content. You should be doing email marketing. Whatever that is, like it's a tactic. But if you literally depend on just this to work, then you're definitely setting yourself up for failure.
Absolutely. Outworks.io. Look them up. Give them a call. They can help you get going. You guys, great having you on your show. Love working with you.
Thanks so much.
I mean, our first time two-timer. That's
Two-timer,
good
there we go.
session. All right,
Nice.
That's good. We'll have to get you guys back on here. I think one other thing I want to mention, because you guys have the capabilities to, like if someone comes in and they do a video and they need someone to help edit, cut up that video, you guys can handle those things. So we really didn't talk about all the things you guys can do. You guys, you want to give a quick rundown of?
Yeah, I can give a quick rundown. So I know we're talking about executive content on specifically LinkedIn, but once our content operating system gets within a company, we position ourselves as their content operating partner. So yes, we can do executive content. We can also do, you want to do YouTube series? Awesome. Send us over the 30-minute raw footage. We will knock that down to 10, make it super interactive, cut clips from it. So you have a YouTube series. If you have a podcast, we do this for a lot of our clients, cut up podcasts and create clips from podcasts. We're doing, a lot of our clients now are having us doing testimonial and case story videos. So we'll interview their clients and we'll cut up really good website content and then also clip content that their entire team can push out. We do, right now, one of the areas that we're really focused on is working with large associations and private event companies that have these conferences or events coming up. We'll interview their speakers ahead of time and then cut clips from that. The speakers push that content out to promote the event. We rebrand it for the association. They push that content out, so you've got hundreds of thousands of impressions going out, driving attendees to these events. So that's something right now that's top of mind. We're sponsoring a big conference in Indianapolis next month that we're excited about.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being on the show. It's great having you.
Us. This is great.
All right. If today's conversation got you thinking about the expertise sitting inside your firm that nobody outside it has ever heard, I hope you'll take one idea from Jared and Kelly and put it to work this week. Give them a call. You can find Jared Gibson and Kelly Foran. Am I even saying your name right? Foran?
Yeah.
Close enough?
Close enough.
All right. So I should have asked you before the show.
What's right?
It's complicated. It's Foran.
Foran.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Retake. No, just kidding. We don't need a retake. You can find Jared Gibson and Kelly Foran on LinkedIn and the company at Outworks.io, where they will give you a week of content on the house. Is that true?
That's true.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm making that up. Plus a free 90-day content challenge template, which I did see on LinkedIn, so check that out. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with a colleague who could use it. The 1958 Lawyer is brought to you by Amada. For more than 30 years, Amada has helped law firms of all sizes do more with less. Built on our 5 pillars: fractional support staffing, virtual office options, office space, legal community, and marketing support. Whether you're a solo practitioner just starting out or an established firm looking to right-size your overhead, Amada gives you the infrastructure of a big firm without the big firm price tag. Learn more at amadacorp.com.
Thanks for listening to the 1958 Lawyer. If you like the show, tell a friend, and please subscribe, rate, and review us on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you'd like to hear more about Ron, Rebecca, or Amada, go to amataoffices.com. That's amataoffices.com. All the links are also in the show notes.